Hello, welcome to Pumpkin Canine Fashions. I have paw-picked my new line of dog beds. Each one delivers bold, stylish looks that make your pup stand out from the pack. With thoughtfully designed apparel and accessories, my people bring personality and flair to every tail wag. Go ahead, treat your pup to one today. Order now at pumpkincaninefashion.com. That's pumpkincaninefashion.com.
Hello, world. This is Talkin Live, and we're looking for more peace.
Now, let's get ready. You are Talkin Live with Lamar Bearden.
Well, we're glad you're back with us today, and we're back with you. We want you to stay tuned. We want to talk about this peace treaty. We want to talk about how that for thousands of years they've been making peace treaties. So really, this is not something that I think will last as long as we think it will. I'm hoping it will, because I talked to my friend Israel this morning, and I said, "How long you think this is going to last?" He said, "Well, maybe." He said, "Maybe 6 months." So I told him, I said, "This hate, man, they just can't get rid of that hate, and as long as they got that hate in them, it ain't gonna never be no peace." And I'm thinking you people out there, you would agree with me. If somebody hates you, it ain't gonna never end until they die or pass away or whatever. It ain't gonna never end. It's gonna continue. Look back when in '67 when they took over the Golan Heights. I mean, it was just, it was happy, but it's been a knockdown, drag out ever since then. I mean, it ain't changed a bit. Maybe a while of peace, maybe some things that we hope for, and we hope that it'll work out. Anyway, we got some clips with old Checker Vance. He's going to talk about this peace treaty here for a minute, then I'm going to comment on it.
Today on Talkin Live News Update, history in the making for the first time, maybe ever. There was cheering in both Israel and in Gaza. Make no mistake, you're witnessing history that many thought could never happen. But not everyone was particularly happy. The ceasefire crowd, well, can't seem to say much of anything at this point. It looks like they really didn't want to cease fire after all, or they simply cannot find it within themselves to ever once at one time give President Trump any credit at all. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's incompetent former Secretary of State, the architect of the Afghanistan withdrawal wink, and Tony Blinken, actually took credit for this deal, posting on X that he was glad that President Trump adopted the Biden plan for peace, which is like the most laughable post I've ever seen. Remember Obama and Biden remember their Iranian nuclear deal? Remember they dumped, cash and other currencies and cargo planes on the tarmac for the mullahs to foment more terror around the world? That was not exactly a peace plan, and that deal would have allowed the Iranians to become a nuclear superpower. In reality, the only thing Blinken ever pulled off was his disinformation campaign against Trump. Of course, he organized the now infamous letter signed by, 51 former Intel officials who had never seen Hunter's very real laptop. That is now authenticated, falsely suggesting that that laptop that they never saw was likely Russian disinformation. And meanwhile, over at CNN, the network's far-left international correspondent, Christiane Amanpour, forced to apologize over the disgusting comparison to the Holocaust. Take a look.
For sure. People who start to talk to the hostages who've only just been released will find that it will take a long, long time for them to recover physically but also mentally. It's been a terrible, terrible 2 years for them, because not only are they there, they're probably being treated better than the average Gazan because they are the pawns and the chips that Hamas had. Now Hamas has given up all its leverage.
The hate never stops the rhetoric. Rhetoric was even worse from a former DNC host who wrote and then deleted a tweet calling the war in Gaza worse than the Holocaust again. For some on the left, peace was never the goal. But for President Trump, peace was always on his mind. And despite the haters and those that doubt, he got it done. That's great for the world, great for Israel, great for the Middle East. This is Tucker Vance with the Talkin Live Show news desk.
All right, thank you, Tucker. We appreciate you. We we have been watching this stuff for years and years. And for somebody else to claim victory, I think that all this commotion and all this stuff and all this praise to Donald Trump, I know he's working to try to have peace. And I know that he is trying, and Donald Trump's talking about this 3,000 years peace treaty. And I know his leverage, his pull on this, this peace treaty made it happen. His pull, his work on it and talking back and forth and trying to make peace, it worked out like he had planned. But see, when Blinken and Biden tried to get credit for it, that's the stupidest thing I ever seen. Yeah, that's like me going out there to dig a hole somewhere, and some guy comes along and he said, "Who dug that hole?" Somebody jumps in front of him. "I dug it." Same thing. Everybody likes to get credit and try to get the blessed for the fame, with all this stuff. By the way, I'd like to say I'm glad to hear that Stephen Baldwin and Alex Baldwin is okay in the wreck they had. Even though me and Alex don't get along, but I'm glad to hear that they're okay. I would like for everybody to know that we cannot count on anything in life. I mean, we can say peace down and then sudden destruction. They say peace. That's what the Bible said. People said peace, peace. And then what are we going to do? I mean, when it breaks out, peace and safety. We can't count on nothing this life and this day. And so I just don't think that anybody can count on anything, but we have that hope that this will hold. That hate, that they have for Israel is so deep in their heart that they cannot get rid of it. Actually, they don't want to get rid of it. They don't want to give up that hate. I mean, destroying another country, wiping out another country, what benefit is that? We almost wiped out the Indians here in America, and they wouldn't bother nobody. Just like Israel, I can't think about, how that they can go out and take lives just because they want to destroy a country and wipe them out. Like other Americans try to do the native Indians, after they'd done taught them how to grow corn and how to grow food and all that, and they turned on them. And that's the way it is in all nations. One reason these things come up because these other countries they get displeased with what a president does or a Congress does, and it makes other people pay for it. And all the Palestinians had to pay because of the murderous hearts of the Hamas and all these terrorists. And I think...
And Hamas is right back out there. I mean, I don't understand moving all those people back when there's nothing to move back to, and Hamas just comes out. We haven't got all the tunnels buried yet. The Hamas that is there in open with their guns, shooting in the air. They're supposed to be there as peacekeepers. So I don't understand what we've accomplished yet.
Well,
Besides
they got some good old pumps and big old water pumps and put it out there in the ocean, and just now that the hostages are free, they need to flood these tunnels with water and drown the suckers. That's what they need to do. Get them out there.
yeah, I guess that's why they were waiting, but they should have kept everybody out and finished it first and then let everybody back in.
That's why it'll start all over again.
You just got all these millions of people that just hate you now, and I don't know how that just disappears.
And then we got Russia. I mean, Trump's threatened Russia with those missiles. Tomahawk, ain't that what they call them?
Tomahawk.
Yeah. He's threatening to give them to Ukraine. That ain't bringing forth no peace. See, Putin ain't going to bow down to Donald Trump, and neither is the Chinese leader. They don't care if it wipes out their whole country just as long as they get their way. That's the way they are. People don't understand that, but I mean, I got friends, Russians. I got friends right now that I talked about doing some business in Ukraine. And they told me, well, you can't do business in Ukraine, Lamar. They're so crooked, we don't even want to do business with them over there. He said, that's the crookedest, corrupt country in the world. I believe it. I know Nigeria is corrupt, you know. I mean, I know a lot of countries corrupt that I've dealt with. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Puerto Rico's corrupt. And I know that AOC.
Them and their bad bunny.
Straighten them out. AOC needs to get down there and straighten them out. I went down there to do business with the government, and they want me to pay them off. This is God's truth. I went down there to do business with a company down there in Puerto Rico, and they wanted me to pay them off. The government did. I did. Yeah, and I did some business for their telephone company down there. They sent me a bunch of garbage they were supposed to send. Then they tried to sue me, but they lost.
So with all the hostages being released this weekend, and I had one curious question for a doctor or something. If they've been under tunnel for 2 years, surely they aren't able to see properly. And you would think they would have the dark glasses on until they got adjusted. So that was something curious I wish someone would not address, but just talk about why they don't have to have those glasses on.
Yeah.
But one thing most people aren't talking about is how important that attack on the Iranian nuclear facilities was. I don't think all this happened without that. And back to that phrase from St. Ronald Reagan, peace through strength, and that's definitely appropriate for this event.
Yeah, well, I think that was good for Iran. They, and you remember that show we did with the Iranian guy. He was a hip-hopper, rapper. And we was just talking about some simple things, and he got into talking about politics. I mean, but he requested us not play it, and I thought for his safety, with the way the Iranian government is, I thought for his safety, when we did that show virtually from Iran, I thought for his safety we should not play it because he asked and requested. Now, he was talking bad about the FBI. Of course, Biden was in there at the time. He was hitting the nail on the head about the FBI.
Who's not talking bad about the FBI?
Yeah, he was talking about them, but he was actually speaking the truth about all this stuff. And but there's so much stuff behind the scenes that people don't see.
Government like that.
Yeah,
You can lay down. The other thing now.
I'm not laying down. I'm trying to get out of that slide. I don't know. I think I need to change chairs or something. Look at that. That sucker popped up again. Every time I pull my jacket down, it pops up again. I don't know what's going on with that. There it goes. Jerry told me about that. But anyway, it seems like your jacket wads up behind you or something. See that? And I didn't even move. But maybe I need to move to a chair. So we might start doing some shows on a chair or something like that with a round table.
Our other set.
King Arthur, round table, King Arthur. But I'm thankful that all the killing and the Palestinians are getting back home and being able to maybe have a little hope. And I hope that God will some way help them. They may not believe in God, but God loves them anyway. Just see, that's the problem. People think, well, they're Palestinians, they worship Allah or Muhammad or all that. That might be true, but they have feelings. Don't matter what happens. The Israelis have feelings. We want to be bless all, not just bless Israel, but we want to bless all nations. We want all nations to have the best and have the enjoyment of not having to worry about wars and all this stuff. Hope. That's what they have now. Hope. In Israel, you see them dancing in the streets and all that when they released their hostages. And it is really a shame that people can't get along with one another. And we got sick people over there that's starting all this other commotion, You can't even have no peace. Donald Trump's trying to bring peace in different cities and safety for other people, but people are against it. The governor's against it. The mayor's against it. We'd like to have that peace, too. We'd like to sign a peace treaty between our Democratic Party and our Republican Party. We need to sign a peace treaty here.
Yes, we do. That's a good point.
Do what now?
I said, yes, we do. That's a good point.
And we need a peace treaty that would protect our people, the American people. We need a peace treaty that will deliver us from these immigrants. I don't mind supporting people, but I mind it when it takes away from the American people. And I brought this up before. And that's when Donald Trump was in there. My sister had cancer, but she didn't draw enough to even eat and pay her house payment. She had her house paid for her. She didn't. Boy, she'd have been. I helped her. I bought her food. She died of cancer. And it's really sad that this country can't even sit down and have a conversation without arguing and fussing about it. We ain't supposed to give no millions of people money and take care of them. My mother used to tell me that's my little wagon, I need to pull it myself. You out there that's depending on the government, you need to get you a little hand on that wagon and pull it your own self. take your load off of our government, take your load off of our people, and pull your own wagon. And the peace treaty we need here is with one another, because we're so divided. And I don't think that's going to change either. I mean, I can't see people expects to be in office when they are sucking the American people dry and complain why they lost their election. Get like Israel, get like Palestine, Hamas. Let's sign a peace treaty. Let's see how it will work. Let's work together and show America we care for them. Stop this government shutdown. And you that lay out, don't come in to work because you didn't get a check. You know, there's so many Americans here that have worked and didn't get a check either. They paid tax and died, didn't even get to enjoy it. I'm really against people having to retire when they get, they can't retire till they're 67-year-old. That's what I understand. That's bullcrap. I can't understand why that this Democratic Party wants to pull the money away from the American people and give it to some idiot that wants to be a woman, some man that wants to be a woman, or a woman that wants to be a man. I can't understand that. I know it's a devil, but in these Democrats to do that, they'd rather do that against nature, pay for that against nature, than to have peace in this country. We need peace. America needs peace. We got violence everywhere. We got violence in Oregon. We got violence down in Texas and all these different cities. I mean, Chicago, killing one another. And I watched Charlie Kirk a lot. And the black people kill one another more than whites ever kill black people. They butcher one another. And you know why? They're just like a lot of white people, too. They don't earn their living. They'd rather sell drugs and destroy lives. White people do it. Crockett, you get up there and you talk about racism. You're the biggest racist they were ever created. Omar, all of you, you squad people, I don't know, you need to squat down and get on your knees and ask God to forgive you for trying to destroy America. Actually, Donald Trump, if you wanted to do anything right, I think you would make a law, sign an order, if you was not born here, you shouldn't be running for office. I don't care if it's nothing but a city councilman. If you wasn't born in this country and you come from another country to change our ways of life, and you had communists in your mind and socialists, you don't need to be in our government. You don't need to be. But I see it all the time, and I can't believe it that people can vote for somebody that's going to take away their home, their right to freedom, their right to speak.
Well, that's the thing there. They keep voting them in. I mean, I don't understand that. That's why you allow people not born here to run for office, because the people have the say in the end, and they keep voting for the same people, even though, like, oh, she doesn't represent the country, But hey, I'm going to vote her back in because she gives me money.
Yeah, but this, to see, the point is, this is a free country. We don't need communists running for office in our country. We don't need socialists. We don't need mayors and judges and all that go against the freedom of America. We don't need that. If you don't even need to be a judge where you are, which side you're on if you're not just about everything. You don't need to side with Donald Trump. You don't need to side with the Democratic Party, either one. You're supposed to go by the law. You ain't supposed to let criminals out here kill again and over just because they come from another country. They're not no special person. You take a jaywalker and try to string him up for jaywalking, but somebody murder somebody, kill some little innocent kid, and you'll let them go. It just burns me up to see our country that's was founded on freedom and choice. See, you guys that come over across the border, you don't have the right of a lawyer. You don't have a right of a court hearing. You need to be picked up, took back where you come from, and bring you, when you want to come back to this country, you come in here legal. All of you. All of you. I don't care who you are, even if you're one of my friends. But I ain't gonna, I'm not gonna do anything to hurt one of these people. But I believe that they should go back to their own country. And I'm talking about AOC and all of them. Send them back, get them out of government, because this is a free country for now. And let's sign a peace treaty here so that we can get along.
Stand out with our exclusive backpack, proudly showcasing the one-of-a-kind Lamar Fashions logo, blending style and distinction into every design. Available in white or black, our backpack is lightweight and comfortable for your optimal comfort and shoulder fit. The main pocket inside can store daily necessities and contains a protective sleeve to hold your laptop, along with interior pockets for storing valuables. With its classic shape, this backpack is perfect for business travel, laptop soft case, or luggage bag for short trips, and will make a great gift for any age group. The two exterior side pockets can hold your water bottles or your mobile phone. Order yours today in black or white at surplusproductsforyou.com. That's surplusproductsforyou.com. The views and opinions expressed on all Talkin Live Show presentations are those of the host and their guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of the Talkin Live TV broadcast studio, EPB Fiber Optics, or by this network or its management.